Hi, it is me, Bishop J from Camp Gilgal TV. Wonderful and welcome. Today it is a wonderful day, and the sun is shining, and everything is great. And we are in our beginning of winter here in South Africa. But today is a very good day. And if it is your first time you come across this channel, the Camp Gilgal TV channel, I kindly request you to subscribe. And once you subscribed, you like the video. And once you like the video, you share it to all your social media platforms. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord cover you. Why I say today it is a wonderful day? Because today it is an important day for all Africans. All Africans. And I want to say this, even those who are in Caribbean, even those who are in America, wherever they are, wherever African are, today it is a very important day. Why it is important? Today it is African Day. African Day. African Day. I would love to say, as the former South African president said, today I am proud to be an African. I am an African. And those who don't know that speech, please go and read Google out and say Thabo Mbeki's speech on Africa, and you will see what he did say. Today I am an African. And today it is African Day. But we need to arrive to ask ourselves questions, a very important questions. And in this African Day, my question to you, and the question that I ask myself all day long is African countries really independent? That is my question. And I'm always looking to arrive to find the answer to that question. Is African countries really independent? Okay, then I can go again and I say, is African countries really sovereign? If we arrive to answer those two questions, then I will arrive to understand, is really African country really free in thinking? Yeah, I'm talking about leaders. And like it or not, leadership is political. If your politics are free, then the rest will be free. But if your politics are not free, you must not say you are free, or you are sovereign, or you are independent. Now, today, in this African Day, this is a question every African must ask. Is African countries really independent? Is African countries really sovereign? That word, independent, I mean, they can take decisions without the influence or without the best of other people. If they can take a decision that must, first of all, benefit Africans, must first of all be for African and African alone. That I want us to think about this, and I want us to ask these questions, and I want us to arrive to have the answers to these important questions. Is African countries free or independent or sovereign? We have an independence, other in the late 50 and other in the early 60, and until today, the last one is South Africa, and who become independent. Now, are we really independent? Because if you look careful, our politicians, they always go, either they go to America, United States, either they go to UK, in England, and other they go to Europe, in France, to go to look for those people there, those presidents of UK, France, United States, to kind of say you are the president. And if those countries, Western country, does not proclaim them a president of the country, they are not as considered as a president. For them to be considered as a president, they need to go to their master, which are the Western countries, to approve them, to say to them, you are our next leaders. And then I ask myself questions, are we really independent? Are we really sovereign? Because when you look around, you see our economies is not independent. That's why I mean, and that's why I say, and I mean it. Politics, if is independent, politics, if is sovereign, the rest will be. The rest will follow. The rest will apply to. As long as politics is not, because our leaders, they go to France, they go to UK, they go to the United States of America to seek, to beg, to be considered as leaders. And therefore, we are not. We are not independent. We are not sovereign. Because, I'll give you an example of Congo, for example. Congo, for example. They have been dictated. Congo right now is in the middle of the war. A middle of a war which is being supported by a neighboring country, which is Rwanda. Not only Rwanda, Uganda also is there. They are killing Congolese people. There is a fake so-called rebels, call themselves M23, are there when it's not the M23, is Ugandan army, is Rwandese army, which is in Congo, supported by the Western countries. But the Western country ever got to tell Congo, no, you must not do war with them. You must not kick those rebels out. Go sitting down and negotiate with them. If then you want to tell me, is Congo really independent? In the meantime, Congolese people are dying. In the meantime, Congolese women and children have been killed. In the meantime, Congolese people who are in their own countries as refugees, sleeping under the sun, sleeping in open air, they have no food, they have nothing, and all these tropical rains is falling upon them in and out for how many years? The war has been for 30 years, but supported by the Rwandese. But when you brought Israel up, and then you will hear the same Western countries, they will say, no, Israel have a responsibility to auto-defense himself as a sovereign country. Is our African country really, really independent? You go to West Africa, you took Niger, for example, Niger, for example. They have nuclear. And that nuclear was giving the Western people electricity for free. France especially, electricity for free. And when you arrive to Niger, they don't have electricity. They never see even the money of that nuclear, where it will go into France all the time. Are they really free? You want to tell me they're independent? You took all the Western blocs of African countries, whom they speak French, and were under French colonizations. They are under a monetary which called franc CFA in French, franc CFA. That franc CFA is rule, governor, control, and in France. The central bank of that franc CFA is in France. If those countries of the bloc of West Africans, which is Ivory Coast, Senegal, Mali, Togo, Burkina Faso, and you put in Central Africa, which is Cameroon, Congo, Brazzaville, and Gabon, and all of it, for them to buy anything for their own people, they need to go to France and ask for money, and France must decide if it's right or wrong. How come France must decide for those block of countries that I just tell you. How come? How come Macron will say, no, this is not good for you. How come? Macron does not live in those countries. Macron isn't not a citizen of those countries, but is dictating for those people to do the same. You ask yourself, are we really independent? Huh? If you want even to look the juggernaut of African countries among ourselves, I'm telling you, it's even shambolic among ourselves. It's even shambolic. If I want to talk about visas, it's even horrible, because if I want to speak about the visa, the country that seem economical right, like South Africa, and like Kenya in East Africa, like even Ivory Coast. I remember when I was still in West Africa, I know about it. Like Ivory Coast in West Africa, even Nigeria, they will kick you out. They don't want to hear about you. I don't want to talk about the Arabs. They're even worse. They're even worse. They go even. I don't want YouTube to come and suspend me. They're even worse. Now. The visa is even complicated. How we really independent in this African day? I'm calling to every young man and woman, young brother, young sister, all the young Africans. We need to stand up. We need to say it is about time to say Africa must arise. It is about time to bring Africa on the map. It is about time to change the narrative. No more the narrative that has been written for us, given to us, make us to swallow by the Western countries. We need to write it by ourselves. And I'm warning you, Africans, we may get us today freedom from the Western country, but we are running to the Chinese and the Russians, and tomorrow we become again slaves of the Chinese if we are not there already. We become the Chinese and the Russians, the Turkish, the Indians became also our next colonizer. How long, even the Arabs, how long can we run from one master to the other master? Cannot us African build ourselves up? Where is the engineers, African engineers? Where is the African scientists? Where are they? Where is, but some of our African brain has been stolen by the Western, by the Eastern countries. They're taking them and they are doing great things today. It's not like African we can think. It's not like African we can arrive to bring solution. We can, and there is very able, capable men and women of African descent can change, but we need to bring them back to the motherland. We need to bring them back to the motherland for us to arrive to do something. And for that to happen, we need also a revolution of thinkers among us Africans, even among the poorest of Africans. We need to be thinkers for us to arrive to ask much more to our politicians. We must not give them a blank check. We must ask them more. They must do more for us. In these African days, African people, arise. African people, be proud of you as an African man and woman. Be proud that you are an African. And today, in this African day, we celebrate Africa. God bless Africa and God visit Africa.